Over the course of human history, few nations have left such a mark on our lives as the Roman Empire. Today, they would put most modern cultures to shame with their accomplishments. One has to admit that the Roman Empire would not have been the same if Julius Caesar had not taken control of the Roman Empire. Even though the empire was at its height during Hadrian's rule, it still was on its way down once his successor took his place. Julius Caesar was born into a noble family in 100 BC. When he was a young man, he was kidnapped from his ship in the Aegean Sea by pirates. He was held for ransom, and his parents paid the ransom. When he got off from the pirates, he manned some ships, and he hunted down the pirates that kidnapped him. He eventually had him crucified in Perugium, which was part of the Roman Empire. Julius Caesar was appointed as governor of Spain in 61 BC. He returned to Rome in 60 BC, where he formed an alliance with Pompey and Crassus. This alliance was called the First Triumvirate. They arranged for Caesar to become consul in 59 BC. They had him elected to the post so they could do favors for the other members of the alliance. Pompey wanted bonuses for his troops, Crassus wanted tax collections from Asius, and Caesar wanted the power of being consul. In 58 BC, Caesar was appointed the governor of Elysium and Cisalpine Gaul for 5 years. He immediately began his campaign to subdue the population. In 58 BC, he stopped the migration of the Helvetii people from the southwestern Switzerland. And in the same year, Caesar moved his troops to the Rhineland, which at the time was the major supply line of the northeastern Gaul. In 57 BC, Caesar attacked Belgae and Nevi in northern Gaul. Caesar took Gaul's Atlantic coast in 56 BC, and he conquered the Rhine over to the Rhine River and to the eastern England by 55 BC. Vercingetorix led an insurrection against Rome in 52 BC because the people of Gaul did not want to become subjects of Rome. Eventually, Caesar was able to corner Vercingetorix at the hilltop fort called Alesia, and he forced them to surrender. In 8 short years, Caesar was able to secure all of Gaul and southern England. Crassus was killed in Mesopotamia in 53 BC. Fearful of Caesar's growing power, the Senate passed a law in January of 49 BC giving Pompey martial law power. They hoped that with the new power, that Pompey would hold Caesar accountable for his actions as consul. In response, Caesar led his troops across the Rubicon River into the province of Cisalpine Gaul in defiant violation of Roman law. The conservative senators in Pompey fled to Greece so that they could build up an army. Caesar first went to Spain to take care of Pompey's troops. He defeated them in 40 days using psychological scare tactics. He then rushed back to southern Italy and into Greece. After a winter of waiting, Caesar defeated Pompey and Pharos in 48 BC. Pompey fled to Egypt, where its ruler had his head cut off and said to Caesar. Caesar brought his army to Alexandria anyway, where he defeated Egypt's ruler, Ptolemy the 13th. He installed Ptolemy's sister and wife, Cleopatra, as ruler of Egypt. Caesar then made his way over to Asia, where he defeated Pharos. Pharos was Pompey's ally. The rest of Pompey's troops kept Caesar busy until 45 BC. Caesar was able to secure his absolute power over the Roman Empire in only 4 short years. In 6 BC, Caesar had himself made ruler for 10 years. Later in 44 BC, he had himself made ruler for life. He gave the people of Po Valley Roman citizenship and protected Jewish people in the area. Caesar reorganized the calendar into what we use today. He pardoned many of his defeated opponents and gave them political positions. He dismissed his bodyguards, which was probably a mistake, because his friend Brutus and other members of the Senate killed him in March 14th, 44 BC. He was born in 76 AD. He was orphaned at the age of 10 in 86 AD when his father died. He was taken in by his cousin Trajan, who later became emperor. Hadrian later went on to marry the daughter of Trajan's niece. She was called Vibia Sabina. Hadrian was chosen by Trajan to be his successor to the throne in 117 AD. Here what was left of the Roman Empire. In Asia, Hadrian withdrew his forces to the Euphrates River. His Romanizing made opposition in Palestine when he tried to exclude the Jewish people from Jerusalem. He put down the insurrection led by Bar Kokhba in 132 AD. The war that followed, the harsh reaction, lasted from 132 AD to 135 AD. Back in Rome, he was said to have given alms to the poor and reformed civil service. In 122 AD, in order to protect the empire from rebellious natives to the north, Hadrian had a large wall built across northern England. The wall was finally completed in 130 AD. At its full length, it was 73 miles long. It stretched from Welsted to Tyne to Bowness and Solway Firth in eastern England. The wall varies in height. In some places it's 13 feet high, in others it's 15 feet high. Along the wall, the remaining forts, one of the best preserved of the forts, is known as housesteads. It was also a sign that the Roman Empire was finished expanding and was trying to hold on to what it had left. During his reign, Hadrian had 4 rival senators put to death. Hadrian chose a senator called Titus Pius to succeed him to the throne, only if he agreed to have Marcus Pius be made emperor after him. His days relatively quietly in Via and Tibur. In 137 BC, Hadrian died, and Artaxias took over the throne. Hadrian made him promise that he would make Marcus his heir when he died. In 161 AD, Marcus finally took over. During Marcus's reign, his empire suffered a series of barbarian invasions, and from then on, the empire was no longer at its peak. Both of these emperors had their own set of challenges to overcome. Caesar had to fight the civil war to gain his power. Even though he only ruled for 7 months, he was able to change the course of Roman history forever. He was able to turn the government from a republic to a dictatorship. Also, the way in which Caesar was able to leave a lasting impression on the world was because of how he was able to put fear in the hearts of his enemies. Hadrian, on the other hand, was leading the empire when it was at its peak. After that, the Roman power was on the decline. Hadrian was able to maintain what was left of the empire. He did this by setting up northern batteries at his wall. He also pulled back his forces to the Euphrates River because he felt that it was more defendable. Hadrian did make a mistake of insisting that Marcus Aurelius would become his heir. Hadrian did make the mistake of insisting that Marcus Aurelius should become emperor one day. Overall, Caesar was able to leave a lasting impression on the imagination of many people. He left a big impression because he was able to change the course of Roman people and the history. Caesar was able to spread the many pieces of Roman technology over the vast road around Europe.